All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. Hello. All right, I wanted to make sure this is working. Still in this weird flux. I can't remember if I told you the story. It might have been on Patreon of my call to, what was his name? Scarecrow? Catfish. I think I did talk about this on the Patreon. This piece of equipment that I paid a lot of money for, this console, you can't see it, but it's much more professional, at least supposed to be, than what I used to do the show on. In fact, I can grab what I used to do. Hang on. For the first 5.5 years of the podcast, everything went through this. This is a remarkably small, cheap. It's cheap. It's inexpensive, but it was very effective. It did everything I needed to do, this console. And in fact, it even powered Q100 in northern Michigan for extended time until this piece of equipment that I don't want to hold up because it's too big to lift, replaced it. And the new piece of equipment is, EZ, you need that one. I don't know that I did. Because this thing's been performing like the fraud bus. I think it was one of you guys on Patreon said, what will be running appropriately first, the fraud bus or the console? So I called this the people who make it, the actual company that makes it in Nashville. I called up. They go, oh, okay, yeah, you need to talk to Catfish. I go, Catfish? Yeah, he created this. He builds all of these by hand. Oh, all right. And he's the guy who I could sense. I didn't mention this when I told the first story. He's a guy who, when he's talking to you, if you start to not really understand what he's saying or he senses, he gets impatient with someone who's, I don't know, it was just weird because he goes, all right, now I want you to hit this button. So I hit this button and I go, well, what about, I said something. He goes, no, that's not what I'm saying. No, I want you to do this. And he's talking to me like I'm a kid. And so I wanted to say fuck off, Catfish, but I need him, you know? Chris writes fraud bus and the fraud board. So I'm looking at the fraud board, and then so we push a bunch of buttons, and then Catfish goes, well, I know what's the matter with it. And I said, what, Catfish? He says it's broken. I goes, broken? Yes. And so then he says, I'm sending you a part, and I want you to take this one apart and put the new part in. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I can do it. So that is going to be, I'm telling you, an absolute shit show. I can't wait to fuck this up. Kenny says, stop buying brand new broken shit, easy. He also talks about the Zenith bashes. Some of you may remember when I had a piece of equipment that would, for some reason, make the mic sound really fucked up and it was all staticky and crackly. And I would take my fist and pound on it while screaming at it. And holy shit, was that fun. It just, some of the most ridiculous things you'd ever hear. It was really, really funny. All right. Now, Nick says, oh, please live stream the repair. When we were at Pooh Bear was on like kind of like a spending spree, and when she's in that zone, you can't really get her out of it. Like we're at a restaurant, it was at Spike's where I told you that they like roll out, they like everybody like rolls out the red carpet for you when you have a person in a wheelchair. So we're sitting there at the table, and she's got a couple of drinks in her, and she goes, and she's drinking a Moscow Mule. Now, that's a vodka drink, I guess, and it must be served in, I don't know if it's copper or brass or some shit mug. And I didn't know why, but then Charity Scam Mike told me that the copper, as Becca says, actually makes the drink taste better. I'm like, you mean to tell me if you drink a Moscow Mule in like a beer mug, it's no, that's not a Moscow Mule. It must be in a copper container. And what it does is it instantly makes the mug cold, which also has something to do with the way it tastes. I don't know. I guess so. I don't necessarily believe that. I think Big Copper is the one that actually invented the Moscow Mule and came up with all this bullshit. So there's Pooh Bear with this mug. And she goes, I just love this mug. And the waitress goes, well, we have them for sale. And Pooh Bear goes, let me cut you a deal. I'll buy a mug if you fill it up for free. Do you do that? And lady goes, no. But I will. And Danny goes, yes, I love it. Yes, oh, God. So she bought a copper mug. And I said to her, I go, what are you going to do with that? She says, drink Moscow Mules. Of course, fucking dummy. The fuck? She doesn't even know how to make a Moscow Mule. She doesn't have, she has Moscow Mules. Is she going to bring the mug to the restaurant? I got my own mug. So she bought the mug. And then she goes, while I'm at it, I really like those T-shirts. So she buys a mug, a T-shirt for my sister/stepsister, and she buys, actually, the night started, and when she's taking the order, the waitress, she goes, is this going to be on one bill? I said, yes, it is. I'm going to pay for it. I said, give it to me, and no big deal. But then it dawns on me, Pooh Bear's losing her mind, buying Moscow Mule mugs, and then T-shirts for everybody in the fucking restaurant, and koozies. Everybody gets a koozie. Now, this is the type of place, it's like Bosco's, okay? So everybody's got like a $12 hamburger. It cost me $200 for everything. I get the bill, and I'm like, God damn, I did not see this coming. Shit. Man, I kept a smile on my face, though. I kept a smile on my face. Everybody was giving me the, no, divide it up, Eric, divide it up. I go, no, come on. Are you crazy? No, I got this. No big deal. Piece of cake. It is. I got a fucking hot tub. Don't forget that. But I'm like, Jesus Christ, I cannot believe I'm spending $200 at a place that serves fucking hamburgers and French fries. That night, we're by the fire. Everybody's in bed. It's easy. Charity Scam Mike fucking pack of Newport menthols. We're killing it. All right? And Mike's telling me a story about this time when he was living in Los Angeles and he dined and dashed for the very first time. And he's right at the best part of this fucking story. And then we hear a scream pierce the night. Ah! And we're like, what the fuck? And then we hear, Mike, stop! No! It's Elizabeth. We think she's getting murdered. Mike starts running. Mike doesn't run. Mike starts running. I'm right behind. I get there, and then I hear her talking to him, and I've got one ear on. I don't want to be involved if it's something that, because you see, here's the thing. Their daughter, our beloved Sophia, occasionally there'll be an issue. Like sometimes a lot of the medicines that she takes, it causes her to have, like, she has to wear diapers. She'll have a blowout. You know how, like, when your baby would shit out of the diapers, sometimes that happens, and that can be a real challenge. So, but that didn't sound like Elizabeth to lose her shit over actual shit, because she's been dealing with it her whole adult life, or as a parent, you know. So I'm listening kind of half as I'm standing there. Mike has no idea that I'm behind him. And then I go, okay, they've got it in order. I'm going to go back to the fire and finish my fucking Newport. And so that's that. Mike comes back and he goes, oh, God, catastrophe avoided. I go, what the fuck happened? I guess a mouse ran across, like, Elizabeth is laying there in bed, like, looking at her phone, and the mouse ran across her in the bed. So she fucking freaked out over the mouse and then took off. And they never found the mouse. So he set up a bunch of traps, and then that was that. But he's like, and where the fuck were you? Where were you? And I go, he goes, what if the fucking Sophia stopped breathing or something? You weren't even there. I go, well, I was, but I realized that it was not a big deal. And so I got the fuck out of there. He was busting my balls about that. Rebecca says, nope, I wouldn't be able to sleep there. Yeah, that's an issue. I went into the old trailer again, and 2 more dead mice. I showed Pooh Bear the traps. The mice were badly decomposed. There was a pile of fucking plump-ass maggots underneath. I had to clean it all up. She says, yeah, burn it down, Eric. I'm never, ever going to stay there. I go, look, one day I will find out the breach point. No, I'm never going to tear this place down. But what we did do, we are going to do what a lot of people do. We're going to build a tiny house. Have you heard of these things? A little tiny house? We're going to build a tiny house there. She says, can we build a cute tiny house? And I go, yeah. I don't see why not. As long as I get to keep the trailer. Because she actually wants me to light a match. And I go, I don't want to light a match. I want the trailer. She says, no, we got to build a tiny house. So that's what's going to happen. Rebecca says you can get the kits on Amazon. Kenny has a great point. A cute tiny house that the mice will also take over. LOL. They absolutely will take it over. Holy shit. And then what? How about just stay in the trailer, and instead of the tiny house, it's the same. The mice are going to stay in both of them. It's not like the mice are going to say, all right, we prefer this old shitty place. The mice are going to go to where to the fucking new place. I had learned when I was up there at Fear Bunker North, because this is what these people discuss. Again, you're north of the hard living line. This is what they do. I was talking with one of the locals, and I was telling them about my mice issue. And they said, well, you got to figure we're coming off of a mating year. I go, what? Yeah, there's a real mating boom going on in the mice community, in the mouse community. I'm like, how the fuck would anybody know that? He goes, it's a surge. Some years are more active than others. This has been a big year for surge mouse mating. So they are everywhere. There's nothing you can do about it. You can only just hope that it subsides, kind of like COVID. And then eventually you'll go away. And then in a few years' time, they will have another surge of mating. Swear to God, that's what I was told. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't even know if I believe that. All right. Is there anything else from my adventures up north that I need to discuss with you? No. I'm excited about going back there again. I'm thinking in a couple of weeks. They want me to come up for the Fred Bear statue unveiling, but I can't do that. The following weekend, yes. Word on the street at Bosco's Pub this week. It's going to be a Wednesday and Friday. EZ and Doug at Bosco's Pub. I think As Fuck might be covering the other days. So if you do plan on going to Bosco's this week, count on me for Wednesday and Friday. Nick says, I just set up one of your neighbor's death buckets under my trailer. This is supposed to be extremely effective. You take a bucket, you put antifreeze in it, you put a ramp up the side of it, ramp on the other side, and then over the bucket, you have like a toilet paper roll with peanut butter on it. They step on that, they fall off it, they go into the bucket, they drown in poison, and that's the end of it. You will have a bucket full of mice. Corpse stew. Nick writes, you need to get Doug on the podcast sometime. Yeah, I think so. I think that has to happen. Nick says the mousetrap only works once. Death bucket keeps on giving. Yeah, I think I'm going to try the death bucket. That's not a bad thing. I'm hopeful that the antifreeze keeps the smell down. Because if you have a bucket full of rotting mice, that could be devastating. While I was away this weekend, two things happened that really, really helped out the mental well-being of your old pal EZ. Pooh Bear said two things. Charity Scam Mike said one thing. The first thing Pooh Bear said that made me sit up taller in my chair was, honey, your belly is not sticking out as far. I said, really? She said, yes. What are you doing? I said, well, I'm waiting to eat. I'll like intermittent fast. Kenny's doing that. And he's killing it. He's lost like 700 pounds. She goes, wow. And then like a few days later, we're fucking walking around the dollar store in Grayling doing the tour of dollar stores. There's a new one that just opened up, by the way. We're walking around the dollar store. And she goes, uh-oh. your love handles don't hang over your shorts anymore. You had a muffin top. You don't have a muffin top now. I go, really? She says, really? I go, I'm not shitting you. I go, you have no idea how happy, because she didn't even know I was doing anything. She just noticed that I'm not as disgusting. Still disgusting, but not as disgusting, according to her. Charity Scam Mike sees me. He goes, you've lost weight. I go, I have? He goes, yeah, I can see it. So I said to Pooh Bear, did you tell him to say that? She goes, I swear to God I did not. I go, fuck yes. Pretty sure I'm below 180. A Charity Scam Mike knows a thing or two about losing weight. He's had we're not really sure what happened to him, but ever since he had COVID, he can't eat. Have you ever heard about this side effect? He goes, I don't know if it was from getting COVID or if it had to do with getting the vaccine. I go, it didn't have to do with the vaccine. It had to do with COVID. Whenever he eats, he gets nauseous. Can't eat. Dropped 75 pounds. At one point, I weighed more than Charity Scam Mike, which is unbelievable. He's always been a fat fuck. Okay? 180 plus 75 is what? 255. Right? Yes. He weighed 255 down to 180 in the last few years. Just stopped eating. He's finally started to gain weight. He's starting to get an appetite back. Okay, college football. Hey, it's Eric Zane here to tell you about my new favorite marketing partner, Mint Mobile. For the longest time, we've been paying way too much for our cell phone service, our plans, whatever it is, mobile device, whatever you want to call it. Every so often, they put the screws to you just a little bit at a time. You don't even notice. Next thing you know, you check out the bill. You're like, wait a minute. This is not what I decided to pay for. What has happened? Okay, forget all of that. You can skip it all right now. Everything is about to change for you. Mint Mobile is the key. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. That's what I'm talking about, where they slowly raise your prices that you pay. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. Say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is premium wireless plans starting at just $15 a month. All the plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You're like, easy, tell me more. This is all you do. I did this. All my family has done this, and you should too. To get the new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Zane. That's good anywhere. mintmobile.com/Zane. Cut your wireless bill from whatever ridiculous amount that you're paying each month to $15 a month. mintmobile.com/Zane. Pay attention to this legalese. $45 upfront payment. That is equivalent to the $15 a month for 3 months. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speeds slower, 40 gigs on unlimited plan. Don't even worry about that. I use that, and it's no big deal. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Started. Let the bullshit begin. First of all, Michigan State beat Florida Atlantic. Now, considering that last year, the two interesting things about Michigan State is that one, they sucked, and two, their coach got fired for jerking off on the phone after the woman who was there to teach the football team to not ask women to jerk off on the phone got fired. Mel Tugger. One of the most ridiculous downfalls that has ever happened. Just a couple years prior, this guy I think they made him the highest paid coach in college football. And then he starts pounding his pud with some chick on the phone who was hired by the university to teach the football team not to ask chicks if they can jack off on the phone. That actually happened. So Michigan State won, and I was trying to make a big deal of it, saying, hey, Spartans won. Hey, that's a good thing, you know? And everybody made fun of them. Said, bullshit, fuck the Spartans. They're not going to win anything else this year. And I'm like, I'm not so sure. I'm trying to play devil's advocate. Michigan takes on an equally horrible team, Fresno State. They are terrible. Michigan can't do anything. Well, they were leading at halftime, but it wasn't convincing or anything like that. It was no big deal. And then they turned it on in the second half and ended up beating the shit out of them. Whatever. Now, I want Michigan to lose all their games. I want Michigan State. I don't care about any team, but because of the Michigan fans and how much of jackasses they are, that's why I want Michigan to lose. I want Michigan. I don't care about Michigan State, but I want them to beat Michigan. I want Michigan State to beat Michigan, and for sure I want Ohio State to beat Michigan. And not because I dislike the team. I love the team. I just want those asshole fans to be able to shut the fuck up. God, so annoying. The question, is Joe Martinez here? He's not here. So I don't even know who they play next. Wait a minute, I think Michigan plays Texas, right? I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Michigan State football. Yeah, that's right. Texas. Spartans play Maryland. That should be a tough matchup for them. And then Sunday, the fucking Lions. 8:15. I'll be watching. I will be commenting on social media as I watch. Keep your phone handy and hope and pray that they start out, even if they start out with a loss, I don't give a shit. They're winning the Super Bowl this year, and that's the end of it. There's a current thing that just came out, the NFL power rankings. I'm guessing the Lions are 3. KC and San Francisco will probably be ahead of them. Last, New England. Can you believe New England? Where they were and where they are now. 4, the Houston Texans. 3, San Francisco. 2, Detroit Lions. Ha, ha, ha. That's awesome. And 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. Maureen says College Game Day is in Ann Arbor this weekend. Nick Saban will be an hour from Linda, and she can go stalk him, and she can't go stalk him. How sad. I actually have a Nick Saban clip to play for you. This is College Game Day. Nick Saban is talking about how Ohio State has players on their team who are earning $20 million in name, image, likeness money. A lot of people have given Ohio State grief about that. I don't know why you would want to give them grief. That's just the way it is. Sorry. Every team can do that. Herb Street was sitting next to Saban. So was, what's the name of the guy? Pat Tillman? Irish guy that does the fucking sports show. McAfee. Not Pat Tillman. He's fucking dead. Anyway.
I just want to say, you guys keep talking about a $20 million roster.
Yeah.
If you don't pay the right guys, you'll be shit out of luck.
That's great.
That's life. Congratulations.
I love that clip. Let's watch it one more
I
time.
just want to say, you guys keep talking about a $20 million roster.
Yeah.
If you don't pay the right guys, you'll be shit out of luck. That's life, baby. That's life. Congratulations. You just broke the internet.
Yeah, I think Saban's gonna like doing that gig. Maureen says college says McAfee, yes. Holy F, you go, boys. I think that was and that wasn't like an edited thing. They actually said that on TV. But it was what do you call it? Cable. So you're in no jeopardy of getting in any type of trouble with the FCC. I think we need more of that on TV. All right. Back to losing weight. Kenny says I should stop eating altogether myself. You know what you should do, Kenny? Try to do 1 day of actually no eating. You know, if you fast for 18, which I think you do regularly, 18 to 20, right? Try to do a 24-hour fast. When I am fasting, my mind is so sharp. Okay, I mean, not necessarily when I podcast, because it's never sharp when I podcast. But when like I haven't eaten and my body is kind of like going into ketosis a little bit, and for some reason I just feel like I have so much fucking energy. I want to eat, and I don't dare fast for much longer than that. But in that period of time is kind of like my sweet spot for the day. Yeah, I usually have been going 16, actually closer to 18 every day. But what I'm supposed to do is at least 16 of no eating. And I usually feel great when I do that. That's been quite effective for me. And then I don't necessarily go the whole day just eating like an asshole. Okay? But I'm not as strict as what some people may be. Like some days I'll be pretty strict, but not all. Like when I was up north, I would fast, but then I'd have fucking bacon and eggs, shit like that. But I still feel great. Rebecca says, do the master cleanse. I lost 12 pounds in a week. Really? Well, I don't know if I want to do that, though. I mean, that seems to be counterproductive, like the type of thing that you'll just lose it and gain it all back. And then also in the cards for your old pal EZ, pump and iron. I'm getting ready to start P90X downstairs in the basement. That is going to happen. All right. Closer to home. We've been talking about this for some time, that Silver Lake sand dunes. Earlier in the year, early in the season, some lady got like killed. There was a vehicle careening out of control, headed right for her daughter, and she pushed the kid out of the way, and the thing killed her. A young mom. It was awful. Then there was that video just a couple weeks ago where the guy on the motorcycle was going up the hill blind, and the spotters weren't watching for him. And on the other side was a guy coming up the hill in his fucking Jeep. And the guy in the motorcycle got air and went flying through the windshield. Well, his motorcycle did, and he went flying like a million miles beyond the vehicle. It was incredible. That guy was all fucked up. Nobody killed in that one. And it was there that were like, well, okay, what's going on here? And as I understand it, there's no rules. You can just, it's like playing Grand Theft Auto at this place. And the local officers in charge of it, the DNR or the sheriff, they're like, yeah, we have no plans to. So I guess maybe they put a sign up that said, be careful. Well, another weekend and another person's dead. This time, a 20-year-old dude from the area was doing his thing. He collided with another vehicle carrying a 36-year-old driver and a 14-year-old kid. 20-year-old was killed. They tried to resuscitate him right there. He passed right there. The teen was taken to the hospital, non-life-threatening injuries. No booze or alcohol factored in. It's just fucking stupid. You know, this might have something to do with more and more people are getting out. You know, since COVID, more and more people are like, all right, let's go do something. Let's go let's buy something and get out on the road. Get out on the sand dunes. The place is legendary. But it's been a bad year, to be sure, over at the sand dunes. My God, look at that thing. Careful, please. Not good. All right. There's this one, too, this story. This is just fucking god-awful. This happened in Minden, Louisiana. I cannot imagine what was going through the head of this 10-year-old kid. But he's in custody, the 10-year-old, because he went and shot like some old man in the town. This is a small community. And the 10-year-old gets a gun and kills an old man. His daughter is with him, hanging out with her dad, and then he kills her daughter. The kid is 10 years old. Try not to pay attention at how fucked up this newscaster's hair looks. Here we go.
It's been developing throughout the day in Minden. A 10-year-old boy is in custody after allegedly confessing to police that he pulled the trigger in a double homicide early this morning. According to Minden Police Chief Jared McIver, it was all hands on deck after discovering 82-year-old Joe Cornelius and his daughter, 31-year-old Keisha Miles, were shot multiple times in a home on the 100 block of Austin Street. Neither the identity of the juvenile nor the relationship to the victims has been released. McIver says the next steps are to determine if
that looks like a hard living line home. I wonder if that has something to do with the shooting.
There was a motive.
The confession about who committed the crime was there. Now it's just unfolding the whys. And, what did something spark it? Was this something that was building up? Did something happen in the past? There's so many unanswered questions because of how we responded and how our officers worked this crime scene. Men can rest. They can grieve yet rest easier knowing that the suspect is now locked up.
Cornelius was a former Minden city councilman. He also served for several months as the appointed mayor following the death of Mayor Bill Robertson. He retired.
It's real easy to spot this guy because he's a black guy with shock white hair. Or he was. Like this family photo, it took me 1 second to find him. Otherwise, I would not have been able to find him. That is a sweet look. He's like Black Gandalf. Or Black Golf, we could call him.
He retired in December 2022 as a deputy marshal with the Minden Ward Marshal's Office. And for more than 24 years, Cornelius was known.
If I'm a black guy and my hair turns white, I'm not dyeing that shit. He looks rare. When was the last time you ever saw a white-haired black guy?
For working with area youth through an organization called Concerned Citizens of Minden. Mayor Nick Cox sent out a statement saying, quote, Joe Cornelius's years of service to Minden were marked by his commitment and dedication to the betterment of our community. Let us come together as a community to honor Joe's memory and support one another through this time of grief. This is a developing story, and we will keep you updated when more information is available.
I cannot get over this newscaster's hair. I can't. I mean, outside of like Free Beer, who also made bad hair choices, this is fucking ridiculous. It's like he went into King's Room Barbershop. He said, I want my head to be an upside down triangle. Will you please cut my hair that way to make this happen? Anyway, rest in peace to that old timer. I cannot imagine a 10-year-old like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, my grandson is 11. He wouldn't even know what to do. My God. Kenny says Morgan Freeman looks kind of like that now, doesn't he? Maybe. Donut Dan says old Don King. Bob suggests that the old man touched the 10-year-old. Well, maybe. I hope not. But there's got to be some type of motivation there. Okay, if the old man touched the 10-year-old and the daughter, the 31-year-old, was complicit, knew about it, then you're like, well. And if furthermore, let's say we don't know the motive, but if you're a 10-year-old and you commit murder like that, do you actually go to prison? I mean, what do they do with you? Do they lock you up in a juvenile detention facility until you're like 18 years old? Rich says, our news guy wanted the Ace Ventura look. Thank you. And concerning all the four-wheeler incidents at Silver Lake, Bob says this story is sponsored by Impact Power Sports. Oh, no. Okay. I'm going to leave that one right there. All right. Let me mention this. Speaking of King's Room Barbershop, head over there. You've got 3 locations, Northland Drive, Caledonia, and at 821 36th Street. They want to cut your hair. $19 a haircut plus tip. Head over to King's Room Barbershop. Kingsroom.net is their website. They are hiring. If you want a gig, if you are a stylist and you want to cut hair, head over to King's Room Barbershop, kingsroom.net. Frank Fuss can get you into a life insurance policy. Go to buyinsurancehere.com. That's buyinsurancehere.com today. And Frank will get you into a life insurance policy. Cannot forget about A&E Heating and Cooling. Joe Martinez, the Michigan Hawk, who's starting to come around on the Lions. There was one post I made, and he commented on it, and he said maybe not this year, maybe next year they'll win the Super Bowl. The fact that he wouldn't even entertain that is unbelievable, because last year all he did was dog the Lions. 616-516-8579 for A&E Heating and Cooling. Great team of pros over there want to help you, whether it be your furnace, whether it be your AC, maybe just something needs to be repaired. You need a furnace tune-up, which you can get for free, a furnace tune-up and a diagnostic test, which is valued at $145 for free if you haven't had that done in the last 2 years. If you have not had that done in the last 2 years, reach out to Joe, and he'll do that for free through DTE. There's a special going on, 616-516-8579. That's 616-516-8579. We got the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Buy now, refinance later, thanks to them. 231-332-6505. That's 231-332-6505. And finally, TC Paintball. Book an event at TC Paintball. All right, gather up the kids in the neighborhood, maybe the bachelor party, maybe the workplace team building, whatever it is. TC Paintball can host you and your group. Fully stocked pro shop, everything you need. Just walk in, come as you are. Book an event with TC Paintball. 616. Pardon me. If you want to contact them, reach out to them online through their website, tcpaintballgr.com. Your asshole of the day today. Let's see. Who's it going to be? No. I was going to put Charity Scam Mike, but he didn't really do anything. It's got to be Free Beer again, unfortunately. I mean, because he was Friday or Thursday, too, along with me. No, it's got to be for anybody to. No, you know what? I got an even better idea. Because Freebeer didn't take the picture. The Nose took that rape picture, and then he went, "Oh, okay," and then he posted it. So the Nose is the asshole of the day for allowing that picture to be posted. It's a horrible thing to do to someone. My God, cannot believe that. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'll talk to you on the Patreon bonus podcast in a little bit. I might grab a nap. Talk to you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.